Hello student, this is Server AD here. Today we are going to discuss about the second lecture on the fishes, vertebrate success in water. Here this was the outline. We have discussed in our previous lecture about the evolutionary perspective, phylogenetic relationship, survey of the fishes in relation to agnathan, and briefly about gnathostom. And during this lecture we will discuss about survey of the fishes in relation to gnathostoms, and briefly about evolutionary pressures which are required for living a life in the water bodies in relation to locomotion, nutrition and the digestive system. Survey of the fish, mainly the class Sarcopterygiae. These are lobed fin fish, fin with muscular lobes. Mean their fin have muscular lobe-like structures which are very helpful for moving in the water bodies. They have lung for the gaseous exchange. Most of the fish you all know use or respire different form of the gills for respiratory structures, but the fish belonging to Sarcopterygiae also possess lung as a respiratory organs. Few fishes from this group, like lung fishes, there are 3 genera. They utilize or employ lung as a respiratory organs for the gaseous exchange. 3 genera are generally found in Australia, Africa, South America, and coelacanth. There are 2 species of the coelacanth living in African and Indonesian coast, and there are some other organisms, Tetrapodomorpha. These were the organisms that were possessing 4 limbs, and they are supposed to be the ancestor of ancient amphibians, and now almost all the organisms belonging to Tetrapodomorpha, they have been extinct from the surface of the earth. Here at the first stage you are seeing the class Sarcopterygiae. These are the lung fishes, Lepidosiren paradoxa, and this second diagram belongs to Latimeria, that is the coelacanth. This is the fish from the Sarcopterygiae. Here these are the lung fishes. This is the first one, Australian lungfish, that is scientifically called as Neoceratodus forsteri, and the second one is the African lungfish, there is a Protopterus nectans, and the third one is the South American lungfish, that is the Lepidosiren paradoxa. Here the next class is the Actinopterygiae. These are the ray-finned fish, mean they don't have muscular lobe in their fin. They also possess swim bladders. Sturgeons and paddlefish from the Candioceans are the most famous fishes of this class, and garpike and dogfish and or bowfin, or the modern bony fishes, the teleost etc., belonging to Neopteridae are the member of Actinopterygiae. Here the Chondrostoma are shown in the figure A, shovel-nosed sturgeons, and in the second diagram these are the paddlefish, the Polydon spatula. These are the fishes from the Actinopterygiae. Next, these are also the fishes from the Actinopterygiae. These are the teleost, a flounder. This is the flounder. This fish have some adaptation difference to its mouth parts and eyes. There is a Pseudopluronectus americanus, and the second is the yellowtail sniper, that is the Osurus crassurus. This next we need to discuss about the evolutionary pressures in relation to locomotion, nutrition and digestive system, circulation, gaseous exchange, swim bladder and lungs. During this lecture, we will just mainly discuss about the nutrition and locomotion. At the first stage, when you say about the locomotion, suppose that if you say about any animal that is living inside the water bodies and leading his life, there it will be very helpful if it have a streamline shaped or streamline body, as it need to move against the current of the water or along the current of the water. So it is very helpful to have streamline shape or streamline body. Further, most of these animals also possess mucoid secretions which make the body very slicky, smooth and slimy while moving across the water. Buoyancy of the water is very helpful, and further body wall muscles are very helpful. Their arrangement in the zigzag manner is very helpful. In few next slide we will slightly discuss about body wall muscles. Fin shapes all promote efficient locomotion. Almost all the fishes have different type of the fins around their body, and so as their name indicate, their position on the body, and all perform different type of the function inside the body. Here different type of the fins are shown. For example, we start from the caudal fin. Caudal fin mainly help the organism to propel itself in the forward movement, and it is helpful to propel the organism towards the forward position or sides. And further, this is the dorsal fin, as it is situated on the dorsal body part of the dorsal location of the body. It help in the balance and staying upright position. It is helpful to keep the organism in an upright position. And this is the anal fin, which is used for balance. It is anal fin because it's so named as because it present on the anus, so it is anal fin, and it also help in keeping the body balanced, in maintaining the body balance. And further, this is the pelvic fin, this is the pectoral fin. These both fin are used for steering purposes, and additional fins may be also present in other form of the fishes, but these are the most common fins as per their body positions and their function in the locomotion. Fishes move through the water using their fins and body wall to push against the incompressible surrounding water. Here we are well aware with the physics of water and water bodies. So every organism living inside the water bodies will surely have to overcome all these physical and biophysical phenomenon by using different type of strategies. Here, when you say about the muscles of the fish, these are very fine structures with a specific type of arrangement in a zigzag manner. Fish muscle extend posteriorly and anteriorly in a zigzag fashion, and contraction of each muscle bundle can affect a relatively large portion of the body. Mean their arrangement is in a such way that a contraction of a small patch of the muscle will affect relatively large portion of the body wall. It means it will be helpful in the locomotion. This is the histodiagram of the muscle H and E. You can see this type of the arrangement, zigzag arrangement here in this diagram. Further, these are very well known fishes. These are the tuna and mackerels, and very efficient fast swimming fishes such as tuna and mackerel supplement body movement with a vertical caudal. There is a tail fin that is tall and forked. Here these fishes possess this type of the tail fin, that is the caudal fin. This here you can see this is the caudal fin. It is highly forked and tall. So these you can say the caudal fin help to propel the body in a forward direction while moving in the water. Here the tuna fish use their lymphatic system to hydraulically control their vertical fins. Their vertical fins are also controlled by or hydraulically by using the lymphatic system. Various types of the research suggest this phenomenon. Nutrition and the digestive system. Whenever you say about the nutrition and digestive system, you have to carefully focus about the environment of the animal where it is living, and the availability of the food. As per the things about the fishes, you say they may be filter feeders and scavengers. Modern fishes which are filter feeders, they uses gill racks. Gill racks or the gill rackers are specifically you can say lobe-like structures or hair-like structures which entrap different type of the planktons, and while the fish move against the current of the water, very fine particles, food particulate or foodstuff materials are being entrapped on the gill racks, and further they are engulfed and sent to other digestive cavity. Most modern fishes, they are the predators. They swallow whole food, and there may be other type of the nutritive behavior or nutritions, that is, they may be external parasites like lamprey. They generally keep themselves attached on the host and obtain their food directly or indirectly from the host by different types of interactions. There may be other type of the fishes which may be herbivores, mean they feed on the vegetations. They eat different type of the vegetables, and as per their nutrition behavior, they may be filter feeders and scavenger, predators, external parasite, or herbivores. There are special type of the digestive tract adaptations. There are specializations in the you can say digestive system which cope all the environment and which are very beneficial to the organism in their feeding behaviors. For example, spiral valves are present in the sharks, and pyloric cecae are present in the bony fishes. Whenever you say about the feeding behavior of any fish, most modern fishes are predators and spend much of their life searching for food. Food, we know that is very important for life, and almost every living being need food for getting energy, and their prey may be of different variety and of different types. Some fishes, they feed on the invertebrate animal floating and swimming in the plankton and living in on the substrate. Mean they may consume different type of the plankton while swimming or moving, and they may obtain different type of the food materials. Here, to capture prey, fishes often use the suctions that mean they generally close their opercula. And after that they rapidly open their mouth, and this develop a negative pressure which sweep the water along with prey inside the mouth, and the prey is easily captured. Here in these diagram you can easily see the food is going to enter inside the mouth. Here their operculars are closed and the mouth is open, which quickly create or generate a negative pressure which sweep the water inside the mouth. entangling or capturing the prey. Here, these are the gill rackers. These are the hair-like projections from the gills, and these are used for capturing small plankton or other food particles along the gills while the fish is moving in the water while keeping the mouth open. Herrings, paddlefish, and whale sharks are filter feeders. They generally uses these gill rackers to trap planktons while the fish is swimming through the water with its mouth open, and these entrapped particles are further moved towards digestive system for digestions. Here, these are different type of the digestive system from the fishes. Here, these variations in the digestive systems may be due to the mode of nutrition. When you say about the mode of nutrition, it needs to change our digestive system. The fish digestive tract is similar to that of the other vertebrates. An enlargement called the stomach store large, often frequent meals. Here the stomach is shown in the orange color, and in most of the fishes the stomach is very clear structure and is present in a large out pocket or enlargement of the digestive system. Here, this is the comparison of digestive anatomy of the fishes. Figure A belongs to carnivorous fishes, mean they generally feed on other fishes or other you can say food stuff or the flesh. The B and C belongs to omnivores with different strategies. B and C are also the fishes, but they are omnivores, mean they can consume vegetations, and as well as they may be carnivores. At some stages they may consume other fleshes or other fishes as well. D are the microphagous planktivores. They may be the planktonic plankton eater or the filter feeder fishes, or they may eat up or consume up some others. You can say plankton, small algae or other type of the food stuff. These are the variations of the digestive system at some stages in their digestive system. Here, this is the digestive system of a shark. Another elasmobranch of a spiral valve in the intestine. Here you can see these are the spiral valves. Spiral valves are generally present only in the elasmobranchs, or you can say chondrichthyes. But these out pockets of the intestines might be termed as pyloric cecae, which increase the absorptive and secretory surfaces of the intestine, but these are only present in the sharks or other elasmobranchs. But in the bony fishes, these structures are replaced by pyloric cecae for the increment or for the increase in the absorptive area of the intestine. Here you can see easily in the next diagram. These out pockets are very clear, and these are the structures which are helpful in absorption and secretory processes during the digestion. Here these are the in this diagram, these are well developed and very clearly visible pyloric cecae label, and this is the stomach, and this is the esophagus, stomach, and further these are the other structures, and this is the anus. This diagram is very clear, and you can easily identify pyloric cecae here in this diagram.